Hi, how are you, Gabby?
Hi, Gabby for Life here, and I am interviewing Vint Cerf. He created the IP.
TCP/IP protocol.
Yeah,
That's right.
TCP/IP. So I will ask you some questions,
Okay.
and you have to answer them truthfully. Okay?
I'll do the best I can, depending on what the questions are, of course.
Okay. So I'm gonna wrong thing. So now you see all the questions.
Right.
So
Well, you
here,
can see all the questions. I don't have my glasses on, so if I'm going to see all the questions, I have to put my glasses
okay.
on.
So the first one
All right.
is what gave you the idea of creating an IP? Can you describe the IP to like a fourth grader like me?
Easily. I think you probably know more than most fourth graders, but the Internet protocol is what makes the Internet work. It's the way we move information from one computer to another. And it works just like postcards, except postcards are slower than what we do on the internet. But think about what you know about a postcard. It has a to address, it has a from address, and it has some content on it. And that's just the same as internet packets. They have a place that says where they came from, another field that says where they're going, and it has some content. Now, postcards don't know how they're being carried. The postcard doesn't know that it went on a bicycle or an airplane or a car or somebody on foot, and it also doesn't know what it's carrying. It can't tell what you wrote on it. Internet packets are exactly the same. They don't know how they're being carried. They don't know what they're carrying. All they know is I'm supposed to take a little bag of bits from where they started, the computer where they started, to the computer where they're supposed to end up. And so this basic idea is what allows us to link billions of computers all around the world on literally millions of computer networks, all connected together in what we call the internet. And that was designed way back in 1973, which sounds like it's around the Civil War, but it's not. It's about 100 years after the Civil War. But it was in the 20th century. And of course, now here we are in the 21st century, and we have internet all over the world. Maybe half of the people living on this planet are online, and the other half we're working really hard to put online so that they can all communicate with each other and share their ideas.
So, yeah, but also, what gave you the idea of creating the IP?
Well, we were working on a military project to use computers to help the military commanders control their equipment, their forces, their systems. And we had the idea that if we had computers to help them, that it might make them more efficient. But in order to do that, we had to hook all the computers up on a network so they could all communicate with each other. Otherwise, it wouldn't be able to work as what's called a command and control system. So it wasn't so much that we woke up with an idea, it was more that we were struggling to figure out how to use computers for command and control. We had to make it work in ships at sea, in fixed installations like this building that we're in, or in mobile vehicles like the car that you came over here in. And so to make that work, we had to use radio and satellite and dedicated telephone lines. So we had different kinds of networks that had to work together. And that's why we called it the internet, because of different networks being connected. So it was more, the idea was using computers for command and control. The project was figuring out how to actually establish the conventions for allowing those computers to communicate. That's what the Internet Protocol does.
Okay. Yeah, but also, so I already asked you this question at lunch. But if say like little kids like fifth grade and under, or like if you're like a kid, don't don't take this the wrong way, but I'm calling you little just because I don't know. But so if kids want to code, like what language would you recommend?
So we've had this conversation more than once at lunch and also over email. And it's a hard question to answer because finding a programming language that is easy enough to learn is important because at the beginning you want to have some successes. So you showed me some examples of programs that you wrote in Scratch, which is from MIT, and it's a very nice language. It's very visual, and it's nice to start with. But then I think you will probably outgrow Scratch pretty quickly. So there are some other languages that the most sophisticated one is called Python, like the snake. And that's one which is frequently used to do very high level and pretty complex projects. So that would you may not be able to go directly from scratch to Python, but there might be some intermediate languages to use. Another one which is very popular is called Squeak. It was developed by a friend of mine, Alan Kay, and it's intended to be an interactive programming language in the same way that Scratch is. So I think that you're very smart, and so I think that it might be kind of fun to expose you to the Python software and to see whether or not the concepts that are in there, which are fairly sophisticated, make any sense. And if they don't, then we might find some simpler language. One is called BASIC, for example, that would be a good stepping stone towards a more sophisticated language. I'm pretty sure that you won't have any trouble learning a new language because you've already shown quite a bit of facility with the ones you already know something about.
Okay. Also, so say I want to work for Google when I grow up. Do you have like any tips because you've been here for so long? Or
That's true. I've been here for 11 years. Sometimes it feels like a million. So I'll tell you what. You're already showing the kind of style that we like at Google. You're a person who's very curious. You like to learn new things. You like to figure out how they work. You like to try them out, make them do things, figure out mistakes, and solve them. That's the kind of person we like to have at Google too. So I think if you just keep doing what you're doing, which is exploring the things that you're curious about, be determined to learn new stuff. That's really all you need when you come to Google. If you have some programming experience, that will be terrific. If you have some creative experience, like you like to write, you like to make stories, maybe you like to build things, maybe you have some experience with the maker fair places where you can build little programmable devices. All of those kinds of experiences are relevant to working at Google.
Also, so does Google have a jet? And also, if it does, do you fly on it very much?
I'm sorry, ask the question again.
Does Google
Google-
have a jet? And if it does,
Does
do you
it have
fly
a
on it very much?
I'm missing
Jet.
a jet. Oh, you mean like an airplane?
Yeah.
So actually, the way this works is that the people who founded the company way back in 1998 and the people who were early employees have often purchased their own planes. And so our chairman of the board has several airplanes that he flies himself. I don't have one. It would be fun to have one, but in the meantime, sometimes we rent them if we need to get someplace that it's hard to get to, on commercial airlines. But for the most part, I travel on commercial traffic, on commercial planes.
Also, how old were you when you got interested in computers?
I was about, let's see, it was 1958, so I was 15 years old at that point. Computers were still pretty new back then. I didn't actually get a chance to program one until 1960 when I was 17. And so you're really lucky because here you are, you're a lot younger than 17, and you've got your own computer and you can program it. I think I would have died for that opportunity at your age, but I didn't know any better. So I had to wait longer than you did. But I was still pretty early in those days. Kids my age then didn't have access to computers very often.
Also, so any advice you wish you had when you were 15
Well,
or 17?
Or 17. Well, the thing I was really interested in science and math when I was in your age, when I was 10. How old are you?
9.
9, close enough.
But
Going on 10.
3 months.
Okay, so it won't be very long from now. So when I was 10 years old, close to your age, I started reading a book called The Boy Scientist. I read another book called Microbe Hunters. It was about people who were trying to understand how bacteria work. So I got really interested in biology, mathematics, chemistry, physics. I got a chemistry set when I was 10, and I did a whole bunch of different experiments. And I love math. I was really good at algebra, for example. So for me, science and technology and engineering and mathematics were just plain fun. And then I started reading science fiction, which was also fun because it's kind of extrapolating from known science to something else that might be plausible, even though it hasn't happened yet. It's like trying to figure out how to travel faster than the speed of light. So for me, science and technology were just the most interesting space I could think of, and I'm still interested in all that stuff.
Okay. So, like, how, how do how do computers help people with disabilities?
Well, that's a very good question, and they help me a lot because in my case, I use electronic mail a lot. You and I have exchanged emails, and your dad and I have exchanged emails. So I use that a lot because it's convenient, and also the other person doesn't have to be awake when I'm sending the message. You can imagine I might wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and send a message, and I wouldn't expect my friend to be up at that hour. So it's very convenient as a tool. And also, since I have a hearing impairment, talking on the phone is harder sometimes than just sending email back and forth or typing, texting or instant messaging or chatting. So that's one way they can use it. Another way is the way my wife uses computers because she has two cochlear implants. And there's a computer that's actually hearing for her. It listens to the sound that comes in, and it figures out how to electrically stimulate her auditory nerve inside her cochlea. And so that computer is basically fooling her brain into thinking that her ears work by generating electrical signals that the ear would have generated if her ear was working right. And so that's a way that the computer is actually helping her work and sort of participate in a hearing environment. At Google, we use computers for all kinds of other things too. You probably use our search engine. When you type Google and do a search, that's a way of helping people with disabilities because sometimes they can speak the question instead of typing on the keyboard if they have trouble. Or sometimes the computer will speak what's in the email. Some of my blind friends who work here at Google use our text-to-speech program so they can hear the email and then speak a response to it. So I'm sure that as you get older and you start exploring programming, you'll find some ways to help people too.
Okay, so I also heard from my dad that you really like Harry Potter, like a lot.
Yes,
Okay?
I do. I really do. I've read all 7 books 3 times.
Whoa. Okay, so
That's because I couldn't remember all of them. I had to keep rereading it.
I have 3 questions about
Go
them.
for it.
So 1 is on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rate Harry Potter? Like you could rate it over.
Well, like I said, I read it 3 times. I think it's terrific writing, right? Because J.K. Rowling is so creative and so inventive, all those crazy words for the magic incantations and things like that. It's also a really interesting story because it starts out, sort of fun in a way, except for poor old Harry is in that horrible place under the stairs and everything. But it's not too heavy. But then as the storyline gets longer, it gets more kind of scary and a little more real world challenges that are happening.
A little more sad.
Yeah, it is sad. On the other hand, we don't want to give away too much here if people haven't read Harry Potter. Although I have never met anybody that hasn't read Harry Potter. But in the end, they win, but at a considerable price.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the story, that sometimes things are important enough that you pay a big price for succeeding.
Yeah. I also wanted to say, so have you ever read the 8th book yet?
Well, I did read a play that she wrote. Is that the one that we're thinking about?
No, so there's the 8th book that is The Cursed Child.
Oh yes, I have. Yes, that's a play actually, and so that book is the script of the play. So it's not like the other books where it's a narrative and she has a lot of description. It's just the dialogue in the play. So yes, I've read that, and she has some more books that are coming. I think where she's going to be describing a lot of the characters in the story and more about their background, if I understand correctly. But I don't think that's been published yet.
Yeah. I also have a question. Who is your favorite character?
Oh boy, that's so hard. Well, you know who I was most impressed by? It's Hermione, because she's so smart. And what's really cool about her is that in spite of all the guys are running around making fun of her bookish ways and everything, she's the one that figures out how to solve a lot of the problems that come up in the book. And so I think she's the most impressive character, in spite of the fact that Harry, of course, is the central character in the book, and he's pretty brave, um, all the way even when he was very young. The other character that I like a lot is Hagrid, because he's a great big giant, but he's a friendly giant, and of course Dumbledore, uh, who is a very complex character. Part of the reason for reading the books more than once was to try to understand his character better. So I think that the storyline lets you discover a lot about each of the characters and what their motivations are, which is what I consider to be good writing. So how many times have you read the Harry Potter books?
I'm still on the 7th for
You're
my
still
first
on the
time.
7th. Oh boy, oh boy. What? But you're almost done then.
Yeah.
You're in the second, in the hallowed.
Yeah.
What is it called? Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Deathly Hallows, right?
Yeah. But I'm gonna read it again and again and again and again and again. I'm gonna try to read it 3 times at least.
Well, I would suggest. First of all, I think that's terrific. What you want to do is allow a kind of a gap in time.
Yeah, I will.
Because then it'll feel a little bit like it's a new story, and you'll remember parts of it when you're reading it. You may remember all of it, but the reason that people reread books is sometimes for the same reason they listen to the same piece of music. It's because there's a part that you really like a lot and you want to experience it again. That's why I reread Harry Potter. It's why I've also reread The Lord of the Rings more than 3 times, because the language is beautiful and the story is wonderful, and I love the lyric style that J.R.R. Tolkien brings to that story.
Okay, so I just want to say I have one last question, and I promise you this time. This is one very important question.
Okay.
Okay? So this question is I know you are extremely busy, but how about sometime in March you could come over to our class and kind of say and kind of talk to our class, it could just be for 15 minutes, nothing too long. And if you could do that, it would be I would be really happy, because some people don't know about you. I kind of want them to now know about you. Have them know.
Well,
Chris,
look what you've just done. We're recording this video. You can share that with them. I don't know if I can come in March, but my chief of staff, Carla, is really good at finding time for me to do things. So let's work on that. We'll see if we can find a time to do it before school's out this year. How's that?
Yeah.
It's a deal. Shall we shake on that? Got it. Okay.
Okay. So, bye. I will end the video now, but thank you for this Q&A. Oh my gosh, you were not in the video most of the time.
That's okay. They could hear my voice.
Yeah. Well.
And then you could tell them that I'm going to try to come to the class, and they could see who I am. How's that?
Okay.
All right.
Well, bye.
Bye.
Also, subscribe if you haven't already, and if you really like Vint Cerf, please like. And yeah, bye, peeps.